Hello and welcome back to the Fortnightly Q&A. My name's Lumin and right now I've got way too many questions to go through. I'm not sure why there are so many this time around. I guess it's because there were so few last time around and I pointed that out. Last time I didn't even have a full page of questions. This time my little WordPad here has 1, 2, 3 full pages of questions. Now I even cut 1 or 2 out that I had answered like multiple times before. But that said, I'm still going to try and go through these like reasonably quickly. I'm not going to spend too long on every single question just because I don't want to be here for like 2 hours. So let's get started. First question is from Stone Whisperer. Have you thought about mixing the channel up with non-gaming bits and pieces? It seems like Let's Plays and the market of Let's Plays are fairly saturated right now, and you either hit it lucky or struggle. Diversification seems a good option if you're looking to make a living from Tales of Lumin. Perhaps movie, TV, book reviews, or even music reviews, travel vlogs, etc. Not sure what you think and how much it'll help, but it'll always be a challenge to keep floating in just pure gaming channels. So, I like diversification, but there's always then just the issue that you are once again spreading everything very thin. So you'll get a bunch of new subscribers for the book reviews, travel vlogs, music reviews, whatever, and they won't watch the gaming stuff, and then you'll just again have this big split with your viewers. I still stand by what I said before of the best way of doing a channel is focus, from the start at least, until you hit it big, until you get lucky, like you're saying here. You should stay focused on one game or one genre, or at least a theme where all of it's concerned. A theme. So, I would say that right now I'm already spread very thin. I want to do other stuff. I want to, but man, I don't even know. Okay, I don't know if stuff like that'll get views. It's stuff that I would like to mess around with, obviously, but firstly, I don't watch much stuff. Like, I watch series and movies every now and then. I don't currently read that many books. Trying to get back into it. I'm probably going to get myself like a cheap Kindle or something so I can start reading again. There's a big, large collection of books that I want to go through. There are books that I want to read. Music, I don't listen to music at all. Like, I listen to gaming related music, and sure, I could talk a little bit about some soundtracks and stuff that I listen to, but I, in recent months and years, haven't been listening to music. Travel vlogs, we don't travel. Unfortunately, we go from here to my parents' farm and back. Sometimes we go, like, to Cape Town side. I just don't. I don't. Like, we don't have the funds or time to make that happen. Also, we have currently got a puppy here called Nero that needs a lot of looking after. And, you know, reasons. I do, however, want at least some diversification with the channel, so it's something that I definitely would consider. I try and at least vary things a little bit by talking about real life stuff in Tales of Lumin episodes, like here, you know, and I suppose I should actually just take my phone out every now and then and go and record a vlog somewhere else, but recently I have, you know, started thinking to myself, my phone's quality is just so bad that it's not worth it anyway. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe when I get a new phone one day or some other method of recording, perhaps. Number 2. And if you have time, number 2, what do you think of and do you play any roguelike games? From pure roguelikes, such as Adam, that's A-D-O-M, I don't know what that is, Dungeon Crawl, Stone Soup, never heard of it, NetHack, I don't know, or the new breed like Curious Expedition and FTL. Wonder what a Lumin Does Dwarf Fortress would be like. I've never played Dwarf Fortress before. Never. So I don't know. I only know the new, if this is what you mean by new roguelikes like FTL and stuff, I only really know those. I love roguelikes. It's a great genre. Is it a genre now? I think it is, yes. I think they're really fun and they make for good videos, that's for sure. There's a question or comment a little later in the Q&A about Darkest Dungeon. That's a roguelike, that's pretty fun. I've actually got that. I do own Darkest Dungeon. I've played it a little bit, but not a lot. Maybe, you know, I'll do some videos on that at some point, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. There's just so much other stuff that I'm trying to get done right now. But I play games, okay? I don't stick to just one type of game. I play what tickles my fancy at the time, and, you know, if it's a roguelike, it's a roguelike. So yeah, I did play FTL, by the way. I have a whole series on my channel of FTL videos, 20-something videos, very fun, that game. Dane the Legend, evening Sven. I really missed the opinion pieces you did back when you got started YouTubing, the ones where you covered some gaming news, new releases, Starcraft, Dota, League of Legends. I never touched League of Legends, by the way. The rest is right, I did some other stuff. I did mention Dota every now and then, but not very often, mostly Starcraft stuff. Never touched Dota. But in brackets here it says even Hearthstone now. Twin victories, and you just gave your unbiased opinions. Would love to see you return to your roots. I don't know. Like, that destroyed my life. It took up so much time, and I had to constantly just be browsing all these different sites to try and keep up with the community news and to try and make sure I knew what was going on. If I was focused on just Hearthstone, then absolutely I'd be doing Hearthstone news like that. I would be able to just put Hearthstone videos up exclusively, and then I would have the time to do it. But I'm trying to at least cover a little bit more than just that, and because of that, it's a bit difficult. So I'm going to rather try and do entertainment videos instead of informational videos like that. I mean, sure, I can mix it up every now and then, but I've got a, for instance, World of Warcraft series that I'm trying to get out this week. I'm hoping it'll be done this week, or at least start this week. That's going to be a bit of a mix, but more entertainment side of things. I think that they are much better because they're timeless. You know, you don't have to watch it in the week that it comes out. You don't have to get it uploaded before the news is old, and so on and so forth. And that's why I stopped doing the news. Okay, so stuff like entertainment that you can watch at any point and it'll still be good makes more sense. Wisnidia. Wisniada. It's Wisniada. Hi Lumin, what's your favorite movie that was released in 2015? Also, have you seen Kingsman: The Secret Service? I haven't seen Kingsman: The Secret Service. I haven't watched any 2015 movies, actually. I don't think I have. I'm trying to think. So, I know this wasn't released in 2015. I think it was late 2014, but Interstellar would probably be the favorite movie that I watched this year. I watched Interstellar this year. I think it came out at the end of last year. I'm not 100% sure, but I watched that a couple of months ago, and it was one of my favorite movies of all time. It was just so well done. Like, I don't know, I don't want to say it blew my mind, okay, because it didn't. It all kind of made sense, even at the end. The end was just crazy, but it made sense. It was out there, but it made sense. I enjoyed getting a look at all those different worlds. I love sci-fi. Like, I'm all over sci-fi. Okay, so I love it. And honestly, what they did with that movie was just spectacular. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's long. Actors in there are great, however. And the story is just, oh man. Especially like the last half an hour to 45 minutes maybe of the movie. It was just so crazy good. So I would say that. I know it wasn't. Favorite movie of 2015 is probably just going to be Jurassic Park. Jurassic World. The new Jurassic Park movie. Probably going to be that. I'm just putting that out there right now. Firepan90. Hi. Want to say you did an amazing job with your videos. You look like a nice guy. Thank you. My question for you is, what do you think of the band Iron Maiden? Okay. Well, not much. Like, I am not a fan of heavy music. I think it's like really heavy music, right? That's just, for some reason, that type of music, that old school metal type of music, it just doesn't do it for me. Old school rock is also sort of touch and go with me. I'm just not a big fan of like AC/DC or anything like that. Then again, I love Queen. I don't know. Okay, I have very specific tastes, and that it's not one of the bands or types of music that I really like. Pepper Yum. Hey Lumin, I got a suggestion. You could do a Lumin Tries Chrono Trigger or Lumin Worthy Chrono Trigger series, for example, where I'm assuming the names are just suggestions. For example, you'd play the game for a couple of hours to get to know the basics without any live commentary. Then you would have snippets of your gameplay, editing out the parts of the game which isn't important, tutorials, loading screens, walking around aimlessly, etc. Oh my god, this sounds like a lot of work already. And then recording a couple of hours of a game is also just intensive on my hard drive as well. Instead, show us boss fights, combat style, story, plot, game mechanics. Sorry, there's something in my eye. And your reaction to certain events from the game. Funny bugs, glitches, and more interesting, meaty stuff covered with post-commentary. I think it would be easier for you to formulate your reviews and points and opinions after having played a good chunk of the game, then give a post-commentary instead of freestyling live like you would for, say, Live Min. This would make videos shorter, therefore faster to upload and process, and gives your channel more variety, since some have mentioned that you are Blizzard heavy. Somewhat a newsman-esque video for a specific game. Interesting idea. I actually already had a different version of that in mind, and mine was a shorter adventure worthy. So I was going to try and, if possible, I guess, make adventure worthies quite short, like maybe even under 5 minutes, and try and just fit in a good bunch of my impressions of the game into that short period and show some really good gameplay off, give you guys a good idea of what it is, and then maybe if, I don't know, there's interest, or if the game is good enough for that, I do a follow-up type video that's maybe a bit longer or whatever. But it's something I've considered. I've got so many ideas that I keep trying to think up and make fit in that it's crazy. And I just don't see many of them through to fruition, unfortunately. It's my fault for trying to bite off more than I can chew constantly and promise things that I can't get done constantly. So it's something that I want to do. It's something that I want to make work. I want to be able to play more games. Like, I want to be able to play a new game that comes out and then a short time after, like maybe even the next day, get a quick video up talking about it. You know, just even if it's slightly more first impression type video, it would be post commentary, it wouldn't be live. I could even record a little bit live, put some snippets in there. I don't know, like I'm considering it. I'm thinking about it, and I always like hearing your opinions on it. And again, any comments and stuff you leave in these videos, the Q&As, that don't have questions in, they get read. I go through every single one of them when I'm pasting the stuff in my notepad here to collect the questions, and it all goes up into my noggin. Okay, so any suggestions are, like, really, really helpful. Timery. Hey Sven, Australia is great, but our internet, at least where I am, is lame. Download speeds are good, upload is lame. I feel you. I feel you. It's lame here too. This is all very lame. Slow, slow, slow everywhere. Anyway, my question is, someone asked about your Tales of Lumin story. Are you still working on it? So I'm going to stop right there quickly and just answer that. I'm not at the moment. I have like so many notes and stuff. The problem is, okay, so I haven't worked on it in a couple of years. No, more than a couple, like many years now. And since I basically started doing YouTube properly, full time. And because of that, none of it's fresh in my mind anymore. Like, I'm constantly having ideas that I think to myself, wow, this would make a great story or a great game or whatever. But none of my original story is really fresh in my mind. I do have it all written down. I'd have to go through every single bit of information that I've got jotted down or in notes on my PC or whatever to be able to restart or kickstart that again. So it's been a while since I've touched it. It has, but I want to get back to it. Now, my partner and I are working on making a game based on stories I've written. Have you ever considered doing that for your world? Someone's already mentioned this, but are you still... Oh, this is... Okay, so I thought it was still the same. Hold on. So, yes, I've considered... There's another question coming now. I've considered making it into a game or converting it into some form that I can use on my channel. Strongly considered, because now, it's 2015, people don't really read very much. The new age of, well, lazy people who like having stories spoon-fed to them. No, not insulting any of you guys. I know most of you, considering the kind of questions you send, are probably big readers, well-read, and into pretty much everything. But you're still open-minded, and you'd probably consider the whole new media style of things. But, getting sidetracked. It's something that I was considering doing, yes. Making a game, like, I would love to make a game. Anytime. I just don't know how. And I also don't have the time to learn how, and that's something that I guess I would just... It's something that I would like to do in the future. So, like, maybe one day I'd be able to join up with some other game company and help them on something, and then from there I could take my own show on the road somehow. I don't know. Who knows? It's like future plans, I guess. Because the ideas and stuff that I have, they're not going anywhere. They'll be here in a couple of years' time. So I'm okay with waiting. Okay? Carrying on. Someone already mentioned this, but you still planning on moving to Germany. When you have access to better internet, will you stream on Twitch? Yes. And yes, it seems like that's still the case. We are trying and trying and trying and trying. And we just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Will I stream on Twitch? Absolutely. Like, all the time, every day, probably. Well, maybe I'll take a day or two off every week, but for, you know, other reasons, like maybe a personal day plus a video recording day so that I can at least keep the channel running nicely. Or I can just do it on the same days. It doesn't really matter. But I will be streaming pretty much daily, as much as I possibly can. And I'll be enjoying it. Tons. 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 I would be very keen to follow and sub to you. That makes me happy. My last question, how pumped and excited are you for the scarves I'm knitting for you and Eileen, and the blanket for Nero too? Are you so excited that you cannot sleep at night? I am. I really am. I seriously need a scarf right now. I mean, I'm sitting here in a t-shirt at the moment, but that's just because we've got the curtain closed over there, the little hole in the door is closed, and the PCs are making quite a lot of heat in here, so it's pretty warm, but it's winter. Okay, it's winter, so I'm pretty pumped for a scarf. Nero, he's not here right now, but I think he'd be pretty keen for a blanket, too. Especially a woolly one, because, well, those are nice and warm. In all seriousness, you don't have to answer that. Oh, well, sorry. I just did. I forgot the last thing I was going to ask you. That being said, hopefully they get to you before the cold weather ends. Or they'll get to us and maybe we'll move to Germany and then we'll need scarves anyway. There. That's that. Oh, I remembered what I was going to ask. What do you think of the huge sub loss in WoW, and then the like 100k player ban that Blizzard enforced on some people? Are you still playing? I mean, obviously now you know that I'm playing because I started uploading videos, but in brackets, I'm always quitting then replaying. WoW Crendo did a really good vid on how he thinks Blizzard could get subs back and fix things. How would you go about it? If you could try and fix things, etc. So, I would communicate with the player base a little bit more. Give them a roadmap. It's a pretty common thing to do nowadays. Big companies kind of shy away from it because, well, they can't always deliver on the promises and they can't always keep all the investors and everyone else happy or whatever. But smaller game companies, they give roadmaps to players and they give them at least an idea of what to expect. Now, the world is ending for World of Warcraft players in many ways, and obviously that's going to make them stop playing because, like, there was an interview recently, okay, that, recently, it's like a week and a half ago or something, that said, well, Hellfire Citadel and Fury of Hellfire, the patch, last content patch, last planned raid, whatever, okay, we're kind of done with Warlords of Draenor now. That's not exactly what they said, but that's what they were implying. And they said that the whole community flipped out, and then they didn't say anything after that. It's like, they just left the whole community there, how many million players hanging. Now, everyone is sitting here thinking, oh god, like, what? Jesus, are we gonna sit here with Hellfire Citadel for another 8 months to 10 months to a year? No the hell ways, I'm unsubbing. Bam, done. Blizzard are not communicating. Number one thing, communicate. I have so much respect for them. They do such a great job with all their games, including World of Warcraft. But I gotta say, like, in the last couple of weeks to months, the communication has been really slack. Not great. Okay, and I mean, with that out of the way, with communication just out of the way, I would say they just need to give players more content. They can do it. They have thousands upon thousands of people working on World of Warcraft. They just need a better game plan. I don't know. Dangle a carrot, for God's sake. Dangle a carrot. So, basically, I would say, if you're going to go about the expansion cycle, one big expansion, one small expansion, one big expansion, one small expansion, and so on and so forth, say that. Because now what most people are assuming is what's going to happen is that, like, you know, you had vanilla. Okay? Then you had, like, an expansion, Burning Crusade with a new race. You had, like, big expansion-ish, big-ish. Wrath of the Lich King, big. But then, Cataclysm came out small. Okay, so Wrath had Death Knight, the Death Knight class. It had, like, so much content, so many patches and stuff. Then Cataclysm came, it was much smaller. Okay, and they didn't add a new class, no, like, they added the races, of course. They redid the old world, but it was a much smaller expansion in scope. Then Pandaria came, which was massive again. Huge expansion. Tons of content. People hate on Pandaria, but it was a damn good expansion. Then came Warlords. Seemingly much in line with Cataclysm. Like, smaller type expansion. Not much going on there. I'm going to talk about this in the Tales of Lumin video, actually, so I don't know why I'm talking about it in such detail here. But, you know, then came that. Right? So, Warlords brought with it much less content, fewer raids, no real big crazy stuff. It's just basically a little bit of a story continuation. Now, many are expecting the next expansion is going to be a big one. I think in an interview, Blizzard actually mentioned that they started working on the expansion that's coming after Warlords before they started on Warlords. So that's been in the making for a long time. Now, if they had to just communicate this with people, then that's cool. Then it would make more sense. I just think that they need to get more content out there more regularly, and then people will be happy. But, I mean, it's so difficult. Again, communication. I'm just going to stop there. I'm just going to say communication is important. That's it. I'm going to talk about more World of Warcraft stuff in Tales of Lumin episodes over the next couple of days and weeks, so check those out too. Shadow Tales the Warrior. Hey Lumin, are you looking forward to Star Citizen? Will you buy it at release or back it now to get the game free at release? Salutations. I have already backed it. I have a little card here somewhere. Just give me a second. Okay, like, I don't know where the card is. I got a White Citizen card. I backed Star Citizen, and I'm hoping it's good. I'll probably play it at release, yes. Next. Big Andy Clark. Question for you. Recently picked up a PS3, partly so I could access games like Ni no Kuni and The Last of Us, but mainly so I could take a run at the phone classic... oh, the PSN, that's not phone. PSN classic games. Right, I missed the sent. Yeah, so at the PSN classic games on the PSN. I think he means on the PS3. I'm confusing myself here. Some of them I know inside out and I can barely remember. And it's like playing them for the first time. It's amazing. Which 3 to 4 games would you pick to wipe from your memory so you could play them anew? The Ultima 7 set of games. I'd love to play that again. Final Fantasy 7 and 8 maybe. Absolutely. Funny, I'd actually even go with something like Half-Life. Just because I remember playing Half-Life back when it first came out, and I had to play it on like 400 by 300, and this was like just as it launched. I had the slowest PC ever. I was so happy with it regardless. Playing it on like the lowest graphical settings didn't matter. The story was amazing. I was scared, I was frightened, I was excited. It was just so good. Half-Life, the first time I was playing through it, was a technical marvel as well, of course. Like, after I got a Voodoo Banshee and I could run Half-Life on OpenGL, oh my god, it was so nice. Wow. I don't know. There are so many games. I'm trying to think back. Like, which games had the ultimate stories? It's difficult. It's really difficult. Like, I loved Mass Effect. Playing through Mass Effect was epic. Huge fan of Beyond Good and Evil. I'm forgetting things. Okay, like, for instance, stuff like the old Blizzard games, Diablo. Playing through Diablo again would be great. Obviously, nowadays it wouldn't be so nice just because of the technical, well, difficulties one would have with those games. But there's so much stuff. There's so much. Too many games for me to give you a proper answer there. But it's something that I'd love to do, of course. Check Crusader ZA. Do you have different sound encoding on this video? I get no sound on this video, but the GTA ones I get sound. Hi from Joburg. This is a video straight from the webcam. GTA ones are obviously different because I use Audacity to record the audio. And with this one, I'm just recording with the Logitech webcam software. So yes, I suppose the encoding is different, but I don't do anything special with it. Not sure why it wouldn't work. Maybe use a different browser. Express Rob Kill. Lumin, what are your impressions on No Man's Sky? Do you think it'll live up to the hype? Are you excited? If so, what's the most exciting thing for you? What kind of player would you want to be? Explorer, fighter, trader person, or the lone wanderer who goes where no one else ventures, and so on? I would love to just explore. That's the most exciting thing to me. Being able to just head out in a random direction, find a planet, land on it, and, well, be the first person to ever find it, or be there, or encounter the life on it. It's just exciting. I love exploration. I love sandboxy stuff like that. I hope that they don't end up making it like Elite Dangerous seems to be, where they give you like all the options but very little direction plus very little incentive to keep playing. Like, I don't know. I feel like what I've seen of Elite Dangerous just doesn't seem like it would work so well for me. Great looking game, but No Man's Sky, oh, even better. I love the vibrance of it, the color in No Man's Sky. It looks magnificent. I am super excited. So excited. Is that coming to PC though? If it's just coming to PS4, then, well, I'm hoping I make a lot of money really soon because I need to get a PS4. Claire Bear. Hey Lumin, will we be seeing another Deus Ex playthrough on the channel, this time around Mankind Divided? Human Revolution was by far my favorite playthrough of yours thus far. I just couldn't get enough of it. What are your thoughts? Mankind Divided looks great. I haven't seen all that much of it. I haven't heard all that much of it. I've sort of just been from the sidelines checking the the news out every now and then. The view works too. I am excited for new Deus Ex though, and I actually agree. I was a big fan of my... personally, I was a big fan of my Deus Ex playthrough. I was a big fan of the pacing of the game, the story of the game. It was a good game to let's play. So the chances are good that I'll play it. But I don't know, like, I would honestly just prefer to stream the whole game. And then obviously I could just have the VODs for the channel or whatever. We'll see. Because then I'd be able to play through it quicker. Right? And I'd be able to just bam, 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 upload it. Maybe, however, maybe I could do like I did with Enslaved and just like tank through the whole game, but I don't know. I think Deus Ex is a bit longer than Enslaved. Big fan of the stuff that they've shown off, and I'm excited. Dizzy Ashrin. Have you ever tried Final Fantasy XIV, and if not, would you want to play it? I've been hearing a lot of things about Final Fantasy XIV. The next question from 16 Rude, 16 ROOD, is the same thing. What's your opinion on Final Fantasy XIV? I played the first, and this was a long time ago, while it was still A Realm Reborn and not Heaven's Word is the new one, I think. So a long time ago I played the starter bit, and it was the most boring thing I've ever... Like, I just couldn't. It took, I would say, about a half an hour to 40 minutes to get through all the cinematics, none of which had voice acting, way too much reading, super boring. When I finally got to play, I just got plonked like in a town. There was nothing to kill, there was nothing to do. It was bad. The starter experience when I played was terrible, and it made me not want to play the game. So now I'm hearing good things about it. I'm assuming the game's been improved a lot. It does, however, sound like it's pretty grindy. I can't do grindy anymore. I am nowadays all about instant action, and I appreciate the ease at which I can just jump in and play a game of Hearthstone. Jump in and play a game of Heroes of the Storm. You know? You know what I get annoyed by? Is queues. I know that there are probably no queues in Final Fantasy, but like World of Warcraft, for instance, PvP is done. I don't bother with PvP anymore because now you have to wait 25 minutes to get into a random battleground, which is stupid, and you have to wait half an hour to an hour and a half to get into Ashran, which is even more ridiculous, so I just don't bother. Like, I don't want to sit here waiting for half an hour to an hour just for a queue so I can play in a game that might be terrible, might be good, who knows? It's a flip of a coin. So I'm into instant action, and Final Fantasy didn't seem to be a good quick fix kind of game. You guys can tell me what you think. I don't want to bash on Final Fantasy because I see so many people playing and enjoying it. So I'd love to hear more about Final Fantasy from some people that actually play it. Melendar71. Hey Lumin, when if you move to Germany or elsewhere, what'll change with the sorts of videos you put in the channel? Some games need good internet to play as well, so will you get into more HOTS, other MOBAs, or maybe shooters like CSGO? Or Killing Floor 2, not Killing Floor 2, no. CSGO I'd like to play. And then the next person, Ed Murphy, is actually asking, can you make CS videos? So I'll answer those two together. Firstly, when I move over, the video schedule on the channel will remain much the same. I might have more going up because I'll have faster upload speed. And I think that some things will change. I might do vlogs more regularly. I might do, like, some stuff from the channel. Like, I might cut some highlight videos up. I don't know yet. I honestly don't know yet. I haven't given it that much thought. But yes, some games do require good internet. And I will play those games more. Probably. I'll play games that fit streaming more as well. So I will stream so much of the good stuff. I'd love to stream some CSGO and play with you guys. I'd love to play some Heroes of the Storm with you guys. Or anything. Like, literally anything. The list is endless. Maybe all these crappy survival games that everyone's so into, like Ark or whatever, the new ones when they come out, I could jump on that the day they release and play it. Yeah, I can... Endless possibilities. Endless. As for CS, I have been considering jumping into CS, but I'm honestly just much more excited for Overwatch right now. I am. I really am. Swift Venom, here's a question for you, Lumin. If WoW did not exist and you had to play an MMO, which would you play? EVE Online is high up on my list, but again, it's such a love-hate relationship with that. After EVE Online... I mean, you are saying if you had to play an MMO. I don't know. I don't even play WildStar. Oh, Elder Scrolls Online is pretty good. I might play Elder Scrolls Online. Final Fantasy, I don't know, maybe Final Fantasy. Who knows? So I'd say EVE Online, Final Fantasy, or Elder Scrolls, I guess. There you go. I might be missing something, but I don't know. John Rurald. Hey Lumin, I've found that many WoW players have been quite frustrated with the game recently. Some of the most complaining of the lack of unique mounts introduced in Warlords Draenor, and the fact that it seems like flying will not be reintroduced. Any thoughts? So this is... I kind of released the Q&A a little late, but yeah, so flying's coming back, as you know. There are not that many great mounts. No. Like, so many reskins. So many reskins. But, yeah, I mean, people are frustrated. Lack of content. Lack of communication. I guess... PvP concerns. There's just no PvP in this expansion. It sucks for a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff. People are just not happy with a lot of stuff. Warlords started off great. I think the leveling experience and the story that you go through when you level a character is right up there. Top shelf stuff. As good as it can get. But then when you get to the late game, when you finish all the content, then... Nah. I don't know. I suppose this is like, again, the kind of thing that you can only really complain about because you are paying $15 a month for it. That's important to note. Okay? So, Hellborn Mark. Have you ever considered playing the Starcraft 2 arcade again? Yeah, I have. I will jump back in there at some point. I mean, obviously when Legacy of the Void comes around, I'll be playing that. But, I am interested in the arcade again, and I will try some of the interesting maps and stuff that they have there. I know a lot of stuff gets updated like a whole lot, and like some of the stuff that I played a while ago is probably going to be completely different and much better now. The arcade it's interesting. So it's something that I'd like to do again at some point. Just don't know when. Navina Vice. Lumin, maybe a bit of a crazy question, but imagine you had the chance to relive a life of one of the prominent figures in the lore of World of Warcraft. Who would you choose and why? Who would Helene choose and why? Then there's another part of the question. Well, I suppose, or if you were to be a citizen of Azeroth. Oh, this is an or. So, what race and faction and profession would you pick? Are there any places you'd like to visit, and who would you like to meet? I don't know who I'd like to meet. Like, any. I'd love to meet T-Baby. Just Thrall. You know, he's an intimidating guy in a good way. So, if I had to relive the life of a prominent figure in the lore of Warcraft, I would not be able to really answer that very easily. I would like to just be a... This is not just me, okay? Now, I don't know the lore very well, but I'd like to be that up-and-comer. I'd like to really seriously just be one of my characters. You know, I'd like to be the hero. I'd like to be the one that gets to go everywhere and gets to meet everyone and gets to make a name for themselves. Sure, there are 10 million other people making a name for themselves as well, but I'd like to be... Maybe we can take that out of the equation. I'd like to be that hero that saves the world. You know, if I had the choice, then that's what I'd like to be. I'd like to build in power, take on bigger, badder bosses, and so on and so forth. As for, like, race, faction, profession, I think I would just fit better in the Alliance. I would. And let's face it, I'd probably be a human male. I'd be super lame. Probably a paladin at this point as well. It would be great. It would be so cool. So I'd probably be a human male. And profession... I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do professions, really. Class, obviously, paladin, something like that. I mean, monks look like they have all the fun, right? With all their little rolls and flying serpent kicks and stuff. That could be fun as well. Places I'd like to visit. Oh, God, all of them. There are so many beautiful zones. Draenor, for instance, nowadays just has so much nice looking stuff in it. Ooh, I mean, dangerous, of course, but nice looking stuff. Slippy. 2 questions, Lumin. Oh, and what would Helene pick? She'd want to be her priest. Helene has been playing her same priest since the very start of time, and she's still on it. It must have thousands upon thousands of days playtime on it already. She'd want to be that character. 2 quick questions, Lumin. Have you seen any good movies lately? Mad Max was really good, if you're interested. Then there's another question that's not related, so... Good movies. Not really. I don't know. We watched Get Hard the other day, which was pretty funny. It's like Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart or something. It was funny. Okay. I said I watched Interstellar. That was great. I watched a movie called Run All Night, which was just a straight-up Liam Neeson action movie. I watched a movie called Survivor, which was Pierce Brosnan and Mila Jovovich, which was just action. Action. That's all I can remember. That's it. I don't know. That's all I can really give you right now. I mean, I had been watching series, but right now none of the series I watch are really coming out anymore, so nah. Is Sylvanas your new favorite hero in Heroes of the Storm? I've been playing a lot of Valorant lately, but I've been considering buying Sylvanas. Sylvanas is great. My favorite hero at the moment... I'm enjoying Nova. I do enjoy Sylvanas. She's level 10. I got the Master Skin. I love that hero. I'm trying to get into Sonya at the moment because she seems like she could be fun. She just seems a bit weak, though. I don't know. But Sylvanas is a good buy. It fits in literally any team, and she's just strong. She's straight up powerful. Josh Hancock. What's the most memorable moment in World of Warcraft? Feel free to ignore the second part, but how goes moving abroad? So, I already explained the moving abroad thing, so I'm not going to go over that anymore. But, memorable moment in World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade, the rush to level 70, I guess. We did that, myself and Helene. I played a hunter back then. I actually had that on an old World of Warcraft account, which I now don't have anymore. We no-lifed it hard. I think I was like the third person or second or third person on our server to get max level. And we know life it hard. It was fun. But it was just such a great experience still, being one of the first to be max level, and then just going into that wide open world of Burning Crusade from vanilla. Oh god, it was so great. Like stepping through that dark portal for the very first time, the size and scope, the magnificence of Hellfire Peninsula. They haven't been able to recapture that yet. Just the awe. Celtic Uchu. Konnichiwa Lumen. 4 questions. I think it's actually 7 questions, but whatever. Okay. Following on last fortnight's question of being trapped on an island from Stone Whisperer, what would you do if you believed yourself the last human on Earth? Oh god, I don't even know. Much better if there was one other human with me, perhaps a lady. Then I think my quest would be simple, right? How are the plans, no, number 2, for Fan Friday coming along? This sort of ties in with what I said before. I've got so many ideas, and I end up promising things that I just don't get done. I'm trying to see things through. This week, I'm focusing hardcore on trying to get the World of Warcraft stuff up and running, and just trying to get the channel back in a good place so that I can get the World of Warcraft videos up, the 1-minute guides up, and then just be happy with that, and then I'll move on to being like productive on other stuff. But that's pretty much it. 3. Blizzard's put new hero skins in Hearthstone that now cost $10 per skin. Some people will buy these, but I think the vast majority will say it costs too much. Do you agree with Blizzard's price point? If not, what would you say is a fair price for a hero skin in Hearthstone? In my opinion, the price should be around $3.99. No, Look. Okay, I think 10 is okay, because you get in a hero and a card back, but I only think it's okay if there is much more effort put into each hero. They don't even have proper golden frames and trays and hero abilities and whatever when you get a golden hero. There aren't nice interactions with different mobs and stuff like that. They, like, sort of kind of rushed them out a bit, as far as I can tell, or they just missed this stuff. Maybe it was an oversight. I guess I would say around $7.50 would probably be the best price point. That would make people happy enough that it's not too expensive, but, you know, it's sort of in the middle. Okay, maybe $5 at the lowest. I think that $7.50 to $10 is better, and then they could put them on special for $5. Right? But again, they need to put more effort into them, and they need to make sure that they are like as polished as can be, as complete as can be, and they are as good as the original heroes. That's what I think. Okay, so I know my opinion might not be the most popular, but I think the price point is okay if you know what I said. In GTA Online, you call the police popos. Is this a South African nickname for the police? Or your code name for the police during your young, less than reputable life? I just picked it up somewhere in a movie or a series or something. Popos, I think they call it the one time in GTA. The pigs. I just... That's what I go with. That's just what I go with. It's better than calling it the cops. Number 4, Terraria 1.3 was released recently, and a bunch of new content was added. Do you have any interest in doing a new Terraria series? Just playing for fun, i.e. not for YouTube, or have you lost all interest in it? I have actually lost interest in Terraria. I did jump in 2 days ago, and oh my god, it just felt the same. It's like, sure, there's a lot of new recipes, there are some new enemies, there might be new biomes and stuff, but I think when Starbound came out, Terraria was dead to me. Because right now, as it stands, I do prefer Starbound. How it feels, how it looks, how it plays. I like the interstellar travel in Starbound. I just think that even in its unfinished and not too often updated state, Starbound is the game for me of those two. Sure, there's the new game from the Terraria creator. I can't remember what it's called. It's called Otherworld or something. I can't remember. That looks quite good. I'll keep an eye on that. But hey, kudos to them for Terraria 1.3. It's pretty impressive. Next. Bonus question. What new game announcements from E3 caught your interest? I'm looking forward to Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2 and Fallout. Big deal to me. Like, the new Fallout 4 will... That'll be great. I love how they handled it. Okay, just like, straight up, amazingly well done. Like, they pretty much showed a complete game off. They said it's coming this year. Yeah, a couple of months from now, you'll be playing Fallout 4. Just like that. That's probably my highlight. Oh, believe it or not. Oh, new Mass Effect, of course. Pretty excited for that. And a couple of other things. But I would say Fallout is my highlight. Just because. Soon. Soon, complete, looking good. Oh, love the voice actor or actress on the female lead as well. It's Jack from Mass Effect. Bonus question 2. You've been tweeting pictures of your wife's gym workout. Can she bench press you yet? No. Not yet, but probably soon. Probably soon. Arodin. There are 4 questions left. Here's a question for the next fortnight. If my calculations are correct, should be right before E3. No, it wasn't. Sorry. Are you excited for anything from this year's E3? So I just kind of announced that already. I usually don't care about E3, but there are a few things I'm looking forward to. Bethesda's conference, where I'm hoping that Fallout 4 will be announced. The new Doom, I'd like to see how that's like. The PC gaming show in general. And hopefully new details for Mass Effect. That's literally what I just said. So there you go. My wishes were very much in line with yours. Very much. Lucius Moxon, Fablewind. I can hear the Witcher 3 soundtrack in the background. What do you think of the soundtrack overall? There are some really good tracks. I haven't listened to all of it in great detail, like I just had it on in the background there, but the main theme is really good, and some of the music that I heard in the game when I played a little bit already has been pretty impressive. I like it. Shrinko. Hey Lumin, I enjoyed your Sky Saga episodes, and I was wondering if you were going to check it out again after launch. Definitely. A lot has changed since you last played it, and I mean a lot. It's a lot more fun now, I'd say, and you should definitely have a look at it. Yes, I will. I will again. I saw that they added new biomes. They've improved a whole lot of stuff. The PvP is apparently much better. I loved it. Sky Saga was great. I have a lot of respect for the guys making it because they seem to take player input into regard or whatever and actually, you know, implement things people want and work on it in a way that people want, and they communicate a lot. So, but Sky Saga itself, cool game, fun, definitely gonna look at it again. Second question, maybe an idea for your channel is to make a weekly gaming news video. I think there's more. Oh, if you've seen the MMO Huts channel, they put out a video about MMO news every week with trailers while they're talking about the news in the background. I can't put trailers on my channel. It's just, I keep getting copyright strikes for that stuff. People are very rude about all of that, so even though you mostly have permission to put them on your channel, it still ends up being so difficult. He asked you, have you ever thought about doing such videos? I've done news videos. My newsmins were a thing, and I'm considering bringing them back for sure, but they will not be too regular, probably only once a week, and I will only cover a couple of topics every time. Big ones that interest me. Talizora Naraya. Okay, Lumin, 2 questions for you. If you could be anybody for a week from the world of gaming, movies, or literature, who would you be and why? I don't know. That's the first question. Again, I liked what I said about my World of Warcraft character being able to experience all of that, but like some characters in gaming, they are just in such dangerous positions all the time, so I'm not sure if I'd be able to stomach that. Let me think. I don't know. Questions like this always get me. They always really difficult for me to answer because I just can't access that backlog of gaming information as easily as I'd like to. So it would just be way too difficult for me to say, okay, this character, that character, and that character. I mean, movies and literature, that's a little easier, of course. I'd love to be in a sci-fi movie. I don't know. So that's a bit difficult for me to answer, sorry. I can't think so quickly. Then the second question is, if you could live in any world for a year, which would you choose? So, I would choose a sci-fi world. Now, the suggestions that Tali here gave was Dreamfall, The Longest Journey. That's Arcadia from there. The Citadel from Mass Effect. Nirn from the Elder Scrolls series. I would probably choose a sci-fi one. Something futuristic. So, the Mass Effect universe. Although that's so dangerous always. Oh my god. Or... like... What is the world from EVE Online called? Or like... a bright, colorful world. From like Wildstar. I don't know. What's Wildstar's one called? I don't even... But I'd go to the future because then I could like learn a lot in a year. And then come back with that knowledge. And revolutionize literally everything. I know that's me thinking about the present while going to the future, which is kind of stupid. But, you know, for enjoyment's sake, I guess if I was going there for a holiday and I wasn't allowed learning anything, then... wow, man. I'd love to go to Azeroth. I know, again, it's just such a dangerous place. You know, there are just random creatures that'll attack you. There are raid bosses everywhere. Bad things happen all the time, but it would be such a grand adventure, right? I think so. Do I ever like other worlds as well? I mean, if you've played Beyond Good and Evil, that looks like a really fun world as well. I mean, from movies, imagine being in Blade Runner. Sure, nowadays it doesn't look that great anymore. But that would be super. Yeah, there's a lot of choices. I'm sorry. And that's the last question. God, like the longest Q&A ever, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions. If you want to leave any for next week, I'm sorry it took so long as well. Like, this is nearly an hour of Q&A. But if you want to leave any questions for next week, just leave them as comments below. I might need to cut down a little bit. I only made this one super long because I wanted to make up for the lack of Q&As. I kind of delayed it a little bit, so double length Q&A, double the amount of time. There you go. Super mega Q&A done. Okay? I might even have to put a mid-roll ad in here because of how long it's going to take to upload, but whatever. I'm sure you guys will be okay with that. Check back here soonish for another Q&A. Give it a like, share it, and do all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, happy leaving those questions for next time. Happy that.